How's it going, everybody? My name is Glenn Aiken. I am a asthma survivor. And what do I mean by that? For years, ever since I was probably about 5 years old, I have struggled with asthma. I remember being rushed to the emergency room and my dad blowing through intersections and honking his horn, flashing his lights to get me to the emergency room just so I could start breathing again. And those were the days before, I don't know if I was too young or maybe they didn't have the rescue inhalers yet, but my point is I survived. And it sounds drastic, and I know people have far off worse diseases and everything like that. However, if you've ever experienced asthma and you've ever experienced the feeling of breathing through maybe a little straw and at times just getting enough air, maybe as much as a stirring stick, if you breathe through a little stirring stick, as much air as that would give you, you know what I'm talking about. You know how scary it is. You know where your mind goes when you're having an asthma attack. You can't help but think of the worst case scenario, especially if you don't have your rescue inhaler with you. But I want to share with you my experience a couple years ago of the one thing that really switched for me in favor of defeating my asthma. And asthma is an autoimmune disease, and I feel that a lot of my reasons for having asthma attacks was because of the inflammatory response that was always a condition in my body, and that because of my environment that I was around, that's a lot of times what doctors told me that triggers your asthma, whether it's your allergies or everything to do with the environment around you. Not once, not even one time did a doctor recommend that I look at the foods that I'm eating. And that really was a wake-up call to me as I've grown older and I've experimented now with different foods that I eat. It's amazing to me how I've went to the allergist for years, and they diagnosed me with asthma, allergies, seasonal allergies, this and that. I was on all these different medications, and the disc, the Advair disc, and all of these medications that helped. They did help my asthma, but they were just treating the symptoms. They weren't treating what was causing it. So I had a friend of mine about 3 years ago. He dared me to cut out from my diet the things that were causing the asthma, the things that were causing my allergic reactions and the asthma. But at the time, I was skeptical. I was like, yeah, okay, whatever. You know what? I'll give it a try. What do I have to lose, right? It's been 30 plus years since I, have been suffering and dealing with the asthma. I took a 1 month challenge from him. What do I have to lose? So I changed my nutrition, and I changed what I was eating, how much of that stuff I was consuming, and it changed my world. It was just coming to the end of winter, going into spring, right usually when my asthma, my allergies would kick back up, and I'd have to get back on medications if I cut back in the winter time. And it really, so I was skeptical. We were going into that season. I changed my diet, my nutrition, the things I was putting into my body, and all of a sudden, I wasn't needing to take my allergy medicine. And I was sitting there one night thinking, okay, maybe he's right. Maybe there is something behind what I'm putting into my body. And so we get deeper into allergy season. Normally by now I'm on all kinds of antihistamines. My nose is still running, and I'm miserable, itchy throat, and drainage in the back of my throat, all that stuff. And my asthma's, normally kicking in, and none of that was going on. And I was still taking my medicine for asthma, but I had cut out the allergy medication. I never started taking it that allergy season because my symptoms never started. And I was pretty much amazed. I was shocked. And so, long story short, I decided to basically wean myself off of my asthma medication. Now, my friend, he wanted me to cold turkey stop, but I was like, no. I'm going to wean myself off and just see what happens. Long and behold, I started weaning myself off, cutting back, and my asthma symptoms never started again. And to this day, I'm not on a long-term asthma treatment, and it's just because of what I'm putting into my body now and what I cut out of my nutrition plan and my diet in order to make that happen. So I'd love to share with you more details about that. I'd love for you to get into one of my groups on special nutrition for people with asthma. And whether that's a 7-day group or you upgrade and you do a 30-day group with us, I just want to be there. I want to have full access, you to have full access to me, because I've walked your walk, I've gone through your experiences, and I want to help you however I can. So just please, if you have any questions, comment below, click on the link so we can get connected and we can get you started on something that could possibly change your life.